Because for me, skating is an art form. When I'm skating in the bow, I'm drawing a line. It's my creative outlet right now.
Maybe you're tired of the waves that come and knock you off your feet. I'd long to see you on a day when you won't drown. The constant dragging and deceit, your hands been tied in there to greet a life that's bounded to a world that keeps on taking every day.
My name's James Dagheti. I'm 41 years old and I live in a small town on the outskirts of Prague.
Maybe you're tired of the strains, the lonely highs, the constant rains that seep right through you on the days you're coming down. Maybe relying on horizons where the skies they fill with diamonds. Ain't surprising that the love that you have lost is in your mind.
We go, we'll take the high.
So I was born in Fittleworth, England, which is in the south of England, close to Brighton. My father's Irish, my mother's English, but when I was quite young, our family moved to America.
Maybe you're tired of the waves that come and knock you off your feet. I'd long to see.
With a very strong British accent, I was adapting to American school life, and around the age of, I think, 12, I remember the first time I saw some local skaters skate by. First of all, the first thing I saw was how fashionable they were, how cool, how different they looked. They seemed rebellious but with style, and it just looked fun. And I was like, I have to do that. And I got my first board. Every day I came home, the thing I wanted to do most was skateboard. So my father started supporting me on it, and he built me a mini ramp, a mini half pipe, inside our barn. And it was indoors, that was the big thing. We ended up moving to Seattle, and unfortunately skateboarding started becoming less and less of my life. I went to university, I started working, and I started focusing on different things in my life. But skateboarding, it wasn't there, but it was. Anytime I was driving or we were going somewhere, if I saw some concrete structure that was smooth, or some angled structure, or just some road that winded down a hill, in the back of my mind, I'm like, wow, that's skatable. But I wasn't skateboarding anymore. That desire, that instinct for seeing concrete structures, asphalt structures in a different light, it was always there. Never went away. For 20 odd years after, it never went away. I wasn't ready to settle down. I just needed to change. I just decided I'm moving to Europe, and I found a teacher training program in Prague. So as soon as I finished the course, I already had work waiting for me. And it was not the typical office job. It was different. I felt some independence, and eventually I started my own school. So definitely that gave me full autonomy, full independence, and it allows me to do still freelance journalism, sometimes freelance comics and illustrations. That's a little less these days, yeah. So for me, it's worked out. It's ideal for me. So I think my second year here second year in the Czech Republic, I was teaching for another school, and one of my students came to me and said, James, every evening we go to the hotel lounge, the bar, and we have fun. Can I bring my roommate? And I said, sure, bring her along, no problem. So we were at the lounge, at the bar, and across from me, my student's roommate, this girl with dark hair, blue eyes, she kept staring at me. and really looking into me deeply, and I was like, okay, so this girl obviously likes me. So later I approached her, and then we started dating. I think maybe on the second or third date, she finally revealed to me she wasn't staring at me because she was like enamored or in love with me. She couldn't understand a damn word I was saying. My wife, unfortunately, suffers from endometriosis. It's very debilitating. It really gave her a lot of pain. And so when she was being treated for this, they said, you should probably think about having a child now or probably never. And that's when we came together and talked. And I think it was like, we didn't want to say it, but like, I want one. And we both said it at the same time. And we're like, holy cow. We've come full circle from a couple that thought, no, we're never going to have a child, to like, we both want a child. So then we proceeded to try. We realized eventually we had to go through the IVF, which means in vitro fertilization. So we went through the process of going through this. The first one, she never got pregnant. The cells didn't work. It's very common. So we went second time, and this time it was successful. I started really thinking, okay, my new future as a father, and this I really started focusing on. I started thinking what I can do to be a better father, what I will do, and what I must change in my life. And then, unfortunately, her endometriosis acted up again really badly. So she was rushed to the emergency room. And at first they said, well, it's not touching the uterus, so the baby should be fine. But simply the shock to the body, it aborted the baby. I really broke down that summer, and I got really depressed. I didn't know what to do with myself. And it looked like, no, we're not going to have a child in the end. One day I was taking a train somewhere, and I saw some skate park, and in my mind I'm like, wait a minute, that was the one sport I loved. And so when my birthday came up, my wife asked me, Jamie, what do you want for your birthday? And I said, a skateboard. And she's like, what? And I'm like, yeah, I want a skateboard. She's like, okay, I'm gonna ask you again in 1 week. If you say the same thing, let's do it. And of course, it didn't change. So I bought like an old school deck, and without writing the bola, I just put the board on the coping, and I dropped in. And wow, it felt amazing. You know, the story kind of comes full circle. So we tried the IVF the third time, and my wife became pregnant. And, you know, almost a year ago today, Henry was born. And wow, I was there. I almost missed it. I was taking a taxi from Rostoki, and for some reason there was some closures of the streets. So the taxi took forever, and we got in a traffic jam. And they called, and my wife said, "Where are you?" I'm like, I'm like 3 kilometers away, but I can't get there. But the nurses and doctors, super cool, they said they would wait. And they waited. I got in, they threw the scrubs on me. I got in there was my wife already on the table, ready to go. Oh my God, I was so nervous. So bloody nervous. I came in, I sat next to my wife, holding her hand and shoulder. And I remember I was still looking at her, and suddenly, I think the nurse tapped me on the shoulder. And there was this little purple person, not so purple, but a little bluish purple, little guy, little human being just looking at us. And oh my God. I mean, everyone says that you'll never experience anything like that. And I just thought, okay, come on. I've experienced lots of weird things. But wow, it is, everything rushes between you, like your life, your death. It really, again, it's existential, because it's like, wow, you've just continued your part of you a little bit. You know, having a child kind of extends you, because part of me will always be in him, you know, into the future, and it's just like, wow. Now coming full circle, you know, what got me into skating was a depression, because maybe I couldn't have a child ever. Maybe I will grow old never having experienced this. Now, just a few weeks ago, Henry turned 1, and I know what I had to do. I knew what I had to do. So for his first birthday at his party, I got him a skateboard. I got him a Palm Peralta, which is like for my generation, it was a huge brand, and it has a lot of significance. And it's a small version of one of these, and he loves it. He sits on it. I push him. It's fun.
Maybe you're tired of the waves that come and knock you off your feet. I'd long to see you on a day when you won't drown. The constant dragging and deceit, your hands been tied in there to greet a life that's bounded to a world that keeps on taking every day.